Hi, I'm Calvin, 22 years old, 3 months away from starting my senior year at State University, and I'm sitting in the financial aid office watching my entire future collapse in real time. Mr. Henderson, I'm looking at your account right now, Mrs. Patterson said, her fingers tapping across her keyboard. The balance shows $47.19. That's impossible, I said, leaning forward. My grandmother set up that fund when I was born. There should be over $80,000 in there. She turned her monitor toward me. See for yourself. The last major withdrawal was 6 weeks ago, $52,000. My hands went cold. Who authorized that? Your father. He's listed as the co-account holder. She pulled up another screen. There were smaller withdrawals before that too. Looks like it's been happening over the past 8 months. That money was for my education, I said, my voice cracking. My grandmother died making sure I'd have it. Mrs. Patterson's expression softened. I'm so sorry, Calvin. But legally, if he's on the account, he stole from me. That's a matter for the police, not the financial aid office. I can give you information about emergency student loans if I don't want loans. I want my money back. I drove straight to my childhood home, my mind racing. Dad had been acting weird lately. Secretive phone calls, defensive when I asked about bills. I chalked it up to stress from his contracting business slowing down. I found him in the garage, sorting through tools. We need to talk, I said. He didn't look up. About what? About the $80,000 you stole from my college fund. His shoulders tensed. I didn't steal anything. I'm on that account. Grandma set that up for my education. You know that. Your grandmother's dead, he said, finally meeting my eyes. And I needed that money. Needed it? For what? Business expenses. The company's been struggling and you destroyed my future for your failing business? Watch your tone, he snapped. I'm still your father. You're a thief, I said. Where's the money now? He turned away. Gone. Paid off debts, bought new equipment. It's invested in the business. Then sell the equipment. Liquidate. Get my money back. It doesn't work like that, Calvin. Give me a year, maybe 2, and I can pay you back with interest. I start school in 3 months. So take a gap year, get a job, learn some responsibility. The audacity hit me like a physical blow. Learn responsibility? From the man who stole from his own son? I borrowed it. There's a difference. Not legally, I said. I'm going to the police. His jaw clenched. You wouldn't dare. Watch me. Calvin, think about what you're saying. You'd really destroy your own father over money? You destroyed me first, I said. The difference is I didn't have a choice. You did. That night, I called my Aunt Rachel, Dad's younger sister. She answered on the second ring. Calvin? It's late, sweetie. What's wrong? I told her everything. The silence that followed felt endless. Oh my God, she finally said. I knew he was desperate, but I never thought, Calvin, I'm so sorry. Did you know about this? No, I swear. He called me last month asking for a loan. I said no because he wouldn't tell me what it was for. Now I know why. He says he'll pay me back in a year or 2. He's lying, Rachel said bluntly. His business is circling the drain. He owes money to half the contractors in town. Whatever he used your college fund for, it's already gone. So I'm just supposed to accept that my education is over? No, you filed charges. What he did, Calvin, that's theft. I don't care if his name was on the account. That money was designated for you and he knew it. He's my father. And he betrayed you in the worst way possible, she said firmly. Your grandmother worked 2 jobs to build that fund. She made your father promise to protect it. He spat on her memory. Her words crystallized something in me. Will you help me? Whatever you need. The next morning, I met Rachel at a coffee shop downtown. She'd brought someone with her, a sharp-eyed woman in a business suit. Calvin, this is Margaret Torres. She's a lawyer and an old friend of mine. Margaret shook my hand firmly. Rachel filled me in. I've seen cases like this before. Tell me everything from the beginning. I walked her through it all. She took notes, asked pointed questions. The key issue, Margaret said, is proving intent. Your father claims it was a loan? He said he borrowed it. Did he give you any documentation, a promissory note, a repayment plan? Nothing, just verbal promises. That helps us, she said. And the account, how is it structured? Grandma set it up as a custodial account when I was born. Dad was added as a co-holder when she got sick, supposedly to help manage it until I turned 18. Margaret nodded. Did your grandmother leave any written documentation about the fund's purpose? Her will, Rachel interjected. It specifically mentions the education fund and states it's solely for Calvin's college expenses. Perfect. That establishes clear intent. Margaret turned to me. Calvin, you need to understand something. If we pursue this, your father will face criminal charges, possibly felony theft, depending on how the prosecutor sees it. Good. This will destroy your relationship permanently. He already did that, I said. I want him held accountable. Margaret studied me for a moment, then nodded. All right, let's get you to the police station. At the station, Detective Morrison listened to my story with increasing attention. $80,000, he said, writing it down. And you have documentation? Bank statements, the withdrawal records, and my grandmother's will. What about communication with your father after you discovered the theft? I confronted him yesterday. He admitted taking it, said it was for his business. Did he threaten you in any way? He told me I wouldn't dare go to the police. Detective Morrison exchanged glances with Margaret. That's consciousness of guilt. Mr. Henderson, I'll be honest, cases involving family members are complicated, but what you're describing is textbook theft. The fact that the will explicitly designated those funds for education makes it even clearer. So you'll investigate? I'll do better than that. I'll bring him in for questioning today. How long will this take? I asked. Depends on his cooperation, Morrison said. But with your evidence, we have a strong case. Later, I met with my college roommate Derek at our apartment. I needed to tell someone my age, someone who'd understand. Dude, your dad stole your college money? Derek said, stunned. I don't even have words. I filed a police report. Good, he deserves whatever he gets. My mom called, I said quietly. They're still married, but she's been traveling for work. She didn't know about any of this. What did she say? She's furious with him, says she wants to help however she can, but she also asked me to drop the charges. Are you serious? She says it'll ruin the family, that we should handle this privately. Derek shook his head. Calvin, man, there is no family to ruin. He ruined it when he stole from you. You know what's messed up? If he'd stolen 80 grand from a bank, everyone would support pressing charges. But because he's your dad, you're supposed to just forgive him? That's what my mom thinks. Your mom's wrong. And honestly, she's probably scared about what this means for her financially. If your dad goes to jail, that affects her too. His bluntness helped. You're right. Of course I'm right. Look, my parents aren't perfect, but if either of them did this to me, I'd burn their world down. Family doesn't mean you get a free pass to destroy someone's future. 2 weeks later, Detective Morrison called. Mr. Henderson, we've completed our investigation. We're pressing charges, felony theft. We're bringing your father in tomorrow. I thought you should know. That evening, Dad showed up at my apartment. I saw him through the window and almost didn't answer. Calvin, please, let me explain. I opened the door. Explain what? How you ruined my life. I made a mistake, he said, stepping inside. Derek emerged from his room, crossing his arms. Want me to stay? Derek asked me. Yeah. Dad glanced at Derek with irritation. This is family business. He is family, I said. More than you've been lately. Say what you came to say. Dad's face reddened. Fine. I'm asking you to drop the charges, please. Why should I? Because I'm your father, because families work things out privately, because what you're doing will destroy me. You destroyed my future first, I shot back. You stole my grandmother's legacy. I panicked. The business was failing. Creditors were threatening lawsuits. I didn't know what else to do. You could have asked me, I said. You could have been honest. Instead, you stole from me and lied about it. I was going to pay you back. When? How? Your business is bankrupt, Dad. Aunt Rachel told me everything. His expression shifted to anger. Rachel doesn't know what she's talking about. She knows you owe money all over town. She knows the equipment you bought with my money is already being repossessed. I can fix this. Just give me time. I gave you 22 years, I said. You spent them building up to this betrayal. Don't talk to me like that. I'm still your father. Then act like one, I shouted. A real father would have protected that money. A real father would have sold his house, his car, everything before touching his son's education fund. You don't understand the pressure I was under. I don't care about your pressure, I said coldly. You made your choice. Now live with the consequences. Dad's face contorted. You're making the biggest mistake of your life. No, Derek interjected. The biggest mistake was thinking Calvin wouldn't stand up for himself. You played him for a fool, and now you're mad that he's not one. Nobody asked you, Dad snarled. Calvin asked me to stay. That's the difference between you and me. When he needs someone, I show up without stealing from him first. Dad stepped toward Derek threateningly. Watch your mouth, kid. I moved between them. Leave, now. Calvin, I said leave. The police are arresting you tomorrow. If you lay one hand on either of us, I'll add assault to the charges. His face went pale. You'd really do that to me? You did worse to me, I said. Get out. He stared at me for a long moment, his jaw working. I never thought I'd see the day my own son would betray me like this. Betray you, I said incredulously. You're actually standing here calling me the betrayer? I'm your father. You owe me respect. I owed you respect, I corrected. Past tense. You burned that bridge when you stole from me. He turned and left, slamming the door behind him. Derek exhaled slowly. That was intense. Yeah, I said, my hand shaking. Yeah, it was. The trial took 4 months. Dad pleaded not guilty, claimed I'd given him permission to use the funds. But Margaret was ruthless, producing Grandma's will, the bank records, and testimony from Rachel about his desperate financial situation. The day of sentencing, I sat in the courtroom with Rachel and Derek. Mom was there too, sitting on Dad's side but not looking at him. The judge reviewed the case thoroughly. Mr. Henderson, you violated a sacred trust. You stole from your own son, money specifically designated for his education by his late grandmother. The court finds you guilty of felony theft. Dad stood, his lawyer beside him. You're sentenced to 18 months in county jail, followed by 3 years probation. You're also ordered to make full restitution, $80,000 plus interest, through a court-approved payment plan. After the sentencing, Dad tried to approach me in the hallway. Calvin, please, can we talk? No. I'm sorry, I'm truly sorry. I was desperate and stupid, and I don't accept your apology, I said clearly, and I don't forgive you. I'm still your father. Legally, maybe. But you stopped being my dad the moment you stole from me. I turned to Rachel. Let's go. As we walked away, I heard him call out, Calvin, I love you. I didn't turn around. You love yourself more, I said over my shoulder. That's always been the problem. 3 months later, I sat in Mrs. Patterson's office again. The restitution payments had started, and the college had worked out a payment plan for my remaining year. You'll graduate on time, she said, smiling. It's not the path you expected, but you'll get there. Thanks to a lot of people helping me, I said, and thanks to not letting him get away with it. That evening, Derek and I grabbed pizza to celebrate my being back on track. So how does it feel, he asked. Justice served and all that? Weird, I admitted. I don't feel happy exactly, but I feel right, like I stood up for myself and for my grandmother's memory. That's because you did the right thing. A lot of people would have just accepted it, let their family guilt them into silence. I almost did. When my mom asked me to drop it, part of me wanted to keep the peace. But peace at what cost? Your entire future? Exactly. I took a bite of pizza. You know what's crazy? Dad sent me a letter from jail, still trying to justify what he did, still asking for forgiveness. What did you do? Sent it back unopened. I don't need his excuses or his apologies. I need him to understand that actions have consequences. Think he ever will? Probably not, but that's not my problem anymore. Derek raised his soda can. To Calvin, graduate-to-be and the guy who proved family isn't a free pass for theft. I clinked my can against his. To holding people accountable. Rachel called later that night. How are you holding up, she asked. Better than expected, I said. It's strange, but I feel lighter, like I can finally move forward. That's what justice does, she said. It gives you closure. Your grandmother would be proud of you, Calvin. Really proud. I hope so. I know so. She always said you had a strong sense of right and wrong. She'd want you standing up for yourself. Looking back, I realize how close I came to letting him destroy my future out of misplaced loyalty. But sometimes the most important family members are the ones who stand with you when blood relatives betray you. Rachel, Derek, Margaret. They showed me what real support looks like. And Dad? He taught me that forgiveness isn't mandatory, especially when someone shows zero remorse for the damage they caused. I didn't file charges out of revenge. I did it because he needed to be stopped, and because my grandmother's sacrifice deserved better than to be squandered on his failed business. Some people say I was too harsh, that I should have given him another chance. But here's what I learned. Respect isn't about giving endless chances. It's about setting boundaries and enforcing them, even when it's painful. I start my senior year next month. It'll be harder financially than I planned, but I'll make it work. And when I walk across that graduation stage, I'll know I earned every single step, not just academically, but by refusing to let someone steal my future, even if that someone was my father. What would you have done in my situation? Would you have filed charges against your own parent or tried to handle it privately? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life stories about standing up for yourself when family lets you down.